Hey guys, welcome back to Chasing You, and we're going to be playing this throughout the diamond event. So all of our diamond choices are going to be free, so that's very, very cool. Alright, so things I do know. I have a lot to catch up on in Chasing You. Things I do know, I think episode 5 I need like 38 authority. It looks like I have 48, but sometimes these numbers can be misleading. We'll see where we're at the end of the episode. And I need either 42 logic or intuition during episode 7. That's what I've been they've alerted me to. Okay. Other than that, don't really know anything. So I'm about to go into this. And I'm trying to decide. I doubt I could get 22 intuition points. I mean, I could go for it and see how close I can get. I don't think it's possible to balance this game, and maybe you shouldn't worry about it. But sometimes when I don't have the intuition points, I kind of feel silly. That's okay. Oh well, but we definitely look like we're going to have enough logic points. So, which is the only reason I was even considering doing some of the intuition points. But I mean, let's just kind of see how we feel about some choices, and as long as we make sure we get nail the 42 logic, so we're ready. I think we should be okay. Now, a new case is standing at your doorstep. Embrace it, and who knows, you might end up being safe and alive. That's always good. I'd like to be alive. Thanks. Because this is very ominous, and we just discovered a dead body, I think. That happened. And there's still very long loading screens because it's an event, and the servers are probably very loaded because a lot of people are playing, but that's okay. Oh, I'll come back when it's loaded. Chapter 3, I'm on the case. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Slowly, without paying attention to the surrounding noise. One inhale on a count of 8. Pause. Exhale. Again until 8. Pause. At what time did you find the body? His broken English was not as annoying as the fact that he interrupted your breathing. But it was impossible not to answer. You swallowed. Around 3 o'clock, I think. We arrived in the morning between 10 and 11. Yeah, then we got changed and explored the hotel. Oh, there you are. His hair looks good all wet. The administrator confirmed that. He gave us a tour. Were you all standing together? Yes, while the receptionist was talking to us. Then we parted ways. With a short burst of gratitude. Sam was also speaking English, not leaving you out of the conversation. When? I don't know. By 12:30? I think it was a little earlier. Then we went to the hot springs. She began to talk in detail about the incident with the man and Manaka's panic. Listening to her voice, you started to sink into yourself again. Saw Makoto Nilsson. The capillaries pulsing in your eyes dyed the scene into a bloody red color. You tried to breathe and overcome your nausea. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Why don't you answer the question? Without waiting for your immediate reaction, he waved his hand in front of your face. Oh my god! It was as if you were pulled out of viscous but warm water. Shivers ran down your arms. How to react? Be aggressive or calm down. Inhale, exhale. You wrapped your arms around yourself, silently suppressing a shudder. Sam moved closer, gently pressing his forehead to your temple. Be patient a little longer. We'll go and rest soon. The policeman wrinkled his forehead, expressing both awkwardness and sympathy. I'm doing my job. You have to answer. We didn't see Alexander and Sam until they came running to Rachel's scream. Okay, Makoto-san, Nilsson-san, you'll be asked separately. You'll question us separately? Yes, later. We found the criminal anyway. What? Did you find the killer? You all stared dumbfounded at the policeman. He nodded. Yes, the killer is a relative. The wife's dad. Father-in-law? Right, father-in-law of the one who was killed. Hisao Ogawa. Do you know him? Never heard of him. Tall, big, with hands like this. A bit fat. Ah, we saw him at the front desk. Remember the one that made a scene? Did he do a fight? No, he was just upset about something. You should ask Imai-san about that. I'll ask. You don't go anywhere. It is important. Yes, we know the procedure. You grimaced, trying to suppress the disgust rising from within. Yeah, we know it well. The policeman nodded and walked to a colleague who was inspecting the sauna. But why is the title of the episode I'm on the case? It may not be an open and shut. I wonder how they immediately knew who the killer was. Brilliant detectives, unrivaled deduction, first-class investigation techniques. Are you jealous? I admire them. Girls, go to your room. We'll join you soon. Ray, will you order some tea for everyone? What? Why are you calling her Ray? Will you be long? No, I just want to see this killer. Go on ahead, my dear. Play as Alexander and Sam. Ooh, fun. Let me guess. You don't believe he's a murderer and you think there's something suspicious here and you want to investigate it? It is nothing like that. It's one of my theories. Just seems this way to you. Theory sounds like a logical choice. This might be intuition. So I think we need one more logic point. So let's go ahead and grab this one. Maybe I just wanted to admire my son. My heart is broken. Sam chuckled good-naturedly, peering out from behind the wall of the artificial garden. They're coming. The pale young man stood with his hands tightly clasped in front of him and bowed to the police endlessly. He didn't even look at the confused man. Because he has blood on him? How did blood get there? He didn't even offer resistance. He only blinked in surprise and repeated one phrase. Shimasen Dashita. What is he muttering? He's saying that he didn't do it. As when his eyes narrowed, he watched the scene at the counter with intense attention. Finally, he slowly said, I believe him. But he didn't do it? Or at least he didn't know what he was doing. Sam, let's go before we start looking suspicious. One of the police officers suddenly raised his head and looked towards the artificial garden, but the corner of the corridor was already empty. What are you guys trying to drag us into again? Your back was pressed against his chest and your hands were hidden under his large palms. You felt like you were in a warm blanket, wrapped up from all sides with warm tenderness. His measured breathing slightly rocked you like a cradle. Not dragging anyone into anything. And what do you mean by you guys? This is entirely his idea. Sam raised his eyes from his cup and looked questioningly at his what? Whose palm? Who am I wrapped up in? So Sam is drinking from a cup. I doubt Alexander would be holding me. Questioning his friend. Personally, I think you're idiots, don't want to know anything, would also be interested. I'm also been interested. Ooh, authority. It'd be very unpleasant if it turned out that he wasn't the killer. Why do we care? We care about this because if this Ogawa wasn't the killer, that means the killer's here in the hotel. Yes, that's very important. An ominous, unpleasant silence fell. Rachel raised her head in dismay. Alexander looked out the window, lost in thought. The heavy silence was interrupted by an unexpected knock on the door. Sound effects. You shuddered all over. I still can't get over the hand waving over the thing. That creeped me out. Alexander quickly stood up and opened the door slightly. Who is it? I endlessly apologize for this. You always apologizing, poor thing, for disturbing you at such a moment, but Kimura-san is asking too. Tadako? He pushed Alexander into the side with his shoulder and opened the door himself. From the doorway, the administrator timidly handed Sam the telephone receiver. If it doesn't bother you. Talk to Tadako as Sam. Greetings, hospitable host. Can we count on getting out of here alive? No, I hired Hitman because I was tired of this business. Sam, it might be an uncontrollable accident, but I'll never be able to clean the reputation of this place. Well, maybe it's not that bad yet. How would I know? I'm not even there. Sam is a failure, a complete failure. Since when are you so hysterical? Go take a sip of something, calm down. Well, he already got a little sip of something. I think the receptionist is lying to me and a dozen murderers had already happened at the hotel. Sam self-tightened several times in a line, betraying thoughtfulness. I gotta tell you that I'm worried that something is going on here. Don't know for sure about that, so maybe I'll just say I'm worried. At the other end, Tadako puffed. Something gurgled, tinkled, and splashed. What do you mean? Explain yourself immediately. What on earth is happening there? Get your foot off the gas. I mean, I just don't know. What's the extra T? Consider it intuition. I didn't like the way this guy was acting when he was arrested. It's as though he really didn't do it. I don't know how to explain it. Sam, Setsuo, don't you dare tell me the killer is still there, at my hotel. He emphasized the last word. I should have to call me Setsuo, you slug. Sam, you already got your license, didn't you? Solve this case. What? Are you serious? Absolutely. Just don't try to ask for mountains of gold. I'll pay a reasonable amount. I know the local police. They can't even find a stolen bike. You, on the other hand, have experience. Have a look around. I will order a service to obey you. Well, that's helpful. If your intuition has failed you, though, I will laugh at you immensely. But you will still get a spa trip as a gift. And if the killer is still at large... He breathed heavily into the phone and swallowed as if pushing a stone down his throat. Then consider all this vacation as a gift, and you'll get a reward on top of it. I need to check with the team. Oh, are you there with your team? Perfect. The company decided to agree. Sure, peeps were heard in the receiver. Well, at least we got permission to investigate. Okay, that's different than just busting out somebody else's investigation. We're still kind of busting in on the police's investigation, but we get permission from the owner, okay? Passing the phone to Yuma, Sam looked around the room with a heavy look. So? He invited us to solve this case. Us? I can't do it alone. Melody, Alexander, Rachel, I need a team. Would you like to be temporarily employed by my detective agency? The three of you looked at each other with different expressions. He's insane and enthusiast. Will they pay us? Enthusiast. Rachel approves of your approach to friends. Oh, good. We want Rachel's approval, okay? Because we still did her dirty in season 2. I apologize. But why do we have to work during our vacation? This might not be only a job, but our salvation. Who knows what the criminal has planned for his next move? Rachel suddenly wrapped her arms around you. You big dummy, stop scaring the girl. Guys, Sadako is an old friend of mine and I owe him a lot. And you, Alexander, have been aching to do this for a long time. Taken by surprise, his expression changed several times, was only able to settle on one, and he finally said, well, that may be true, but you'll have to be Watson. In your dreams, Archie Goodwin. I don't know the reference of Archie Goodwin. Should I look that up? Hold up. It says the comic book writer. Am I reading this right? Archie Goodwin. What's that to do with, let's see what it's to do with the detective. Ah! Fictional character in Rex Stout's Mysteries. Ah. Okay. Nero Wolfe and Archie Goodwin, world's best detective. Okay. Gotcha. Alexander chuckled, outlining lush volumes around Sam with his hands. Rachel said, You do it. I don't like this idea. Rachel, I'm calling her right. Please, I can't do this without your help. She sighed in displeasure but nodded. But mind you, you'll not throw the female half of the team into the heat. Yeah, I kind of don't want to participate at all. I don't mind. Let's be a team player, I don't mind. Yay! Fortunately, I have experience with something similar. You gloomily took a sip from your cup, ignoring the sympathetic glances of your friends. Anyway, I'll call Tadako, tell him that we agree, and ask him to inform his servants. He let out a sad sigh. With nothing to do, you pulled out your phone and discovered a missed call. Oh, Bridget called. Is everything alright there? You invested in the fishing village. We're about to find out. Yes, Grandma Bridget. Hello? How are you? Oh, look how cute she is. Hello, dear. I'm calling to say the last financial report is here. How's it doing? Everything is better than we expected. Self-sufficiency is already established. Olivia says that in another 2 months we will start making income. Yeah. But there are some problems with the advertising company. Scanson believes that we have overstepped our boundaries and is threatening to boycott us. Don't worry, I'll deal with them when I get back. I'm more excited about the new rides, especially the stable. Well, look how busy it is. Oh, daughter, that is the best. The children are delighted. Some parents bring them here every weekend. The queues start forming in the morning. The groom we have should look for new horses. Yeah. Thanks to a bold investment, your business is going uphill. Hey, I'm already making business plans. Nice to hear that. You brought some good news. I'll say goodbye now. Have a nice day. And don't hesitate to call if there's anything. At the other end, Bridget was silent for a few seconds and then replied in a strange tone. Take care of yourself, dear. I feel a bit uneasy. Demons, they know no boundaries or pity. May the gods protect you. Looked in surprise at the smartphone screen. Is something wrong? Yes, Bridget is throwing mystical phrases around again. We should have appointed her as a fortune teller. That would be a guaranteed success. Rachel resolutely put her cup down and declared, I don't know about you, but I'm hungry. Let's go get Sam and have a snack. Your stomach answered for you with a loud, demanding rumbling. While you walked along the line of glittering, chafing dishes, a few members of the well-trained staff stood to the side. Everything is so exotic. I don't even know what to choose. Is it all safe? Do you think you'd be poisoned? Here? Well, I don't know. After that guy in the sauna, I'm just ready for anything. I'll just take some rice. Forget about diets and eat well. I'll take some. Duck with rice. Rice cakes. Seafood soup. Eat with duck. Have something sweet. Try something traditional. Okay. Let's go soup or... These are cute. They look like mochi. Or should we have some duck? I kind of want the soup. Let me get some soup. Is it too oily? Enough. And it has high-calorie noodles, right? Yes. And all kinds of seafood, yes? Yes. So delicious. We grabbed a plate and were carrying it to the table when the restaurant door opened again. Oh, hey, Eve. I'm about to starve to death. Don't tell me you've already used up your reserves of fat. Ouch. There's more where that came from. I give up. Oh, guys, you're here too. Alexander took his chopsticks and impolitely pointed them at the guys. Where have you been? We went skiing. What? There was a murder while you weren't here. For a few seconds, Eve looked everyone in the face to see if it was a prank. Finally, she narrowed her eyes and put her hands on her hips. Bad joke. I don't believe you. Not a joke. You saw the police at the entrance, didn't you? No, we came to the back door. Sam and Alexander looked at each other with strange expressions on their faces, but remained silent. Like, that doesn't sound trustworthy. So, can anyone well, we've already been down that road, okay? I don't think it's either one of them. I would hope. So, can anyone explain what happened? Some mafia-looking guy. Well, I definitely don't think anyone of them, because I think I heard you can end game with Elia. I think you can also end the game with Eve, maybe. So, we've been down that road. No suspecting the Eve people again, okay? Some mafia-looking guy was found dead. Yeah, they slit his throat, a brutal way to deal with an enemy. He casually picked his noodles, looking straight into Eve's eyes. Either I'm paranoid or you're hinting at something. He is not. Don't give it away. Don't give it away. Don't give it away. The relationship with the guys has improved. Sam, where are your manners? The guys came to eat. Come sit with us. Yeah, just a minute. When the guys got back with full plates, Alexander casually asked, and how's the ski truck today? Elia rubbed her neck, his neck, with both hands took a deep breath. It was fine. Eve tripped and fell over like a rookie right on her behind. The girl pursed her lips and after swallowing the shrimp, nodded towards the spa. So what happened? You grimaced sourly and briefly told them how you found the body. You kept silent about Tadako's quest, deciding to leave this honor to Sam. The guys listened with interest but without much enthusiasm. This is karma. You wanted to wait for him in all of this and it came back to you here. He shook his head, catching the waitress's gaze and gesturing to her. I don't think it should concern us. I mean, have they found the killer? Yep. So that's that. Case closed. An unpleasant story, of course, but nothing that should ruin our vacation. Silent waiter suddenly appeared next to the table, and a small glass of sake appeared in front of each of you. Right, I propose a toast. For this well-deserved rest to pass without further incident. He raised his glass invitingly. Eve took out her phone and handed it to the waitress. I took a picture of us, please, from memory. Okay. You fixed your hair and smiled wide. Glasses were raised and a picture was taken. Do we get CG? Aw. At least we get to see it. That's cute. I'll take a picture anyway. Look at Alexander's face. Sam is just still eating. Just completely ignore it though. Hey, I wasn't ready. He was ignoring them. He wasn't paying attention. Should have been quicker. Let's go again. Oh no, this photo will go down in history. I object. Sam, you look good. Don't worry about it. Sam, I'm jealous. Oh my god, no, don't start. I give up. After examining the photo, Eve put the phone in her pocket and stood up. I ate too much and now I want to sleep. Or maybe someone wants to go to the hot springs with me? You shut it all over. No thanks. We've had enough of them for today. I need to call check back. We all have plans for the evening. Okay, see you later then. She waved her hand and left. Elia took his leave a little later. He went straight to Alexander and Sam. Spit it out. I saw you looked at each other while the guys were talking about skiing. They said they went through the spa, but they didn't know about the crime. What do you think that means? That they are as attentive as a blind grandma, there were no policemen there, or that they lied? Unfortunately, they might have lied. Because I can't imagine that they just released the crime scene. Even if it's open and shut, the scene probably still be locked down, right? And besides, we're supposed to be investigating, so they don't have permission to close down the scene, I don't think. So that's, I don't know, it does seem a little sketch that they were missing all day. Oh no, we're not supposed to be suspecting them again. I do think they lied. Ha ha. Good guess, but I will argue with you. They were genuinely surprised at your story. If the policeman was not at the door, they wouldn't see him. So the police didn't leave him at a replacement. That means he can be lured away from his post. Forced to inspect the sauna without interruption. Good idea. Well, they can't just let us in without all that. We are investigating the request of the owner. Well, can't they just let us in? Yeah, I'm saying we don't need to sneak. They can't. They don't have the right. Proper documents need to be made and all that. And they're likely understaffed, seeing as they left this guy alone. Surely they're waiting for a specialist from the city, and they themselves only took fingerprints. I'm afraid that while they're busy with bureaucracy, too much would have already been wasted. You thoughtfully tapped your lips with the chopsticks. For some reason, this gesture attracted everyone's attention. We need a clear plan of investigation, and also a plan to distract the cop. Don't do that with the chopsticks, it's not very polite. I do have some thoughts on the investigation, though. Go ahead. What interests us the most is the motive and the possibility of committing the murder. At first glance, the motive could only be Hassel. Their relatives probably even lived in the same room. You think they were here alone together? Most likely, but we'll check it out. The staff needs to be questioned. First of all, that green-haired girl at the spa reception. Manaka, and also the girl with whom this man was walking in the morning. Which girl? The one Eve spoke to when we were at the hotel. Yeah, exactly. A vacation fling is a motive? Could be. And so it would be good to get a hold of her. Can we talk to Hassel himself? If he was taken to the city, it would be unlikely. In any case, we should start with the sauna. Any idea how to distract the cop? I have an idea. Oh lord. Path of logic. Okay. Rachel had her arms wrapped around herself, looked anxiously at the hotel window. In my opinion, this isn't the best idea. What if we get caught? Well, what will they accuse us of? It's impossible to kill with this one. He waved in the air, starting pistol. Well, they'll say we're hooligans. They'll start asking questions. They think that they've already arrested the criminal. They won't ask anything. They'll say we stole hotel property. Firstly, it was not stolen, it was borrowed. Secondly, the closet should be better locked. Rachel folded her arms across her chest and arched an eyebrow. The main thing is to convince him that it was a shot and he should go take a look. Are you ready? She nodded without much enthusiasm. You pointed your pistol towards the forest and fired. The sound turned out to be unexpectedly loud. You shuddered, although you were ready for it. Of course it's loud! 10 seconds later, Rachel ran towards the spa. You waited 2 minutes and then ran... Wait, I shot it into the forest. So if they're gonna go there, I don't want to be in there with them. And Rachel ran toward the hotel. I don't know if I'm supposed to be following her. Should I go behind the car? Behind the car. I don't know. You hid, gripping the gun tightly with your palms. For a moment, nausea rolled over you, the cold side of the car, the trigger in your finger. You shook your head, throwing valid memories aside. I'm in a completely different situation. I have no reason to panic. Oh. Yeah. We were hiding behind a car where Edward was shooting at us like a crazy person. Calm down, Melody. It's all in your head. Just fire a second shot and hide again. Hello? Why are you here? That sound, though. But I think I just got caught, so I probably need to restart. Great. You jerked sharply and by inertia pointed a pistol at his chest. Policeman, without hesitation, in a split second, pulled his own gun out of his holster. You hit in the wrong place. Try again. Huh. I didn't get what I was supposed to do there. And I'm gonna run. Well, maybe this will give me a place to hide after all. Let's go, of course. You have to make a detour to get to the main path. You ran a few dozen meters and dove into the depths of the forest, trying to get away from the path. After taking a few steps, you jumped up and firmly shook the branch of the nearest spruce. Snow fell from it, smearing the tracks, and you started to sneak further, trying to keep the hotel in sight. Finally, a man in uniform appeared on the landing in front of the hotel. You hid in a safe place. Great, not a second shot. Oh no. Shooting at some tree in the depths of the forest, you tracked the policeman out of the corner of your eye. He immediately roused himself and grabbed for the holster in his belt. Then he bent down and moved along the bushes. At night, into the forest, into the dark, where a potential armed criminal roams. You're either very brave or very stupid. Watching the man, you quietly crawled back through the snow. Snow was falling from the trees, covering the policeman's tracks. From time to time, you tugged at the fluffy branches, pouring more snow behind you. You had to walk very slowly so as not to make noise. It was much easier for the policeman to walk on the road. You bit your lip, desperately looking around. A little more and he'll catch up with me. Glancing down, you frantically began to roll a snowball in your hands. What you gonna do with that? The tree? The car? Because they're not supposed to throw it at him, because then he'll see exactly where I'm at. And at a tree? What tree? It'll just thud somewhere, and possibly nearby, because I doubt you can throw that far. But if you throw it at the man turned his whole body from right to left, trying to look across the entirety of the parking lot. You waited until he turned his back on you once again, and desperately swinging, you threw a snowball at the nearest parked car. It gave off loud wails, urging the owner to come running. The policeman jumped up and in reflex grabbed the pistol from its holster. He turned to face the car. The uproar that caused reliably muffled your hurried footsteps. You didn't look back. After going around the hotel under the cover of the forest, you rushed past the spa upstairs to your room. So, what that do? Oh, okay. So we're the distraction. Oh, I was about to say, I'm like, I thought we were supposed to be investigating something, but the guys are investigating, and I was just distracting me and Rachel. When the steps off the policeman died down, the guys appeared from the corridor. Do we have 15 minutes? I don't know about 15. Let's not waste any time. Start with the sauna. I'll take a look here. Yes, boss. Of course, boss. You're the smartest, boss. Move it, Miss Marple. I know Miss Marple. With the giggle, Alexander giggling is hilarious. Dove under the Tide tape. Started disconnecting equipment. The room was a couple of degrees warmer than outside. The smell of blood was nauseating, so Alexander had to grit his teeth while holding his stomach in place. I keep getting messages and stuff about romance. It's ridiculous. I'm already playing. So, what do we have here? There's not much time. I should examine. Trace the blood. Focus on the floor. The scene as a whole. I don't want to narrow him down too much, though. So maybe we should just take a quick look around. And maybe things that we can recall later. Or should we get specific? Specific. Trying to pronounce words. Okay. I think it's home. You're moving in the right direction. Oh, good. Alexander sighed, stood in the middle of the room, and slightly relaxing his eyes, began to absorb the atmosphere. There are no signs of a struggle. He didn't seem to get up when the criminal entered. He would definitely react to a complete stranger. This speaks in favor of the version of his cell being the culprit. Or it could be the girl he was walking with. Crossing his arms on his chest, Alexander stood at the door and stared impassively at the bench. Straining his memory, he diligently recalled the picture that he saw when he rushed to the cry of the girls. From this perspective, he looks like any hotel guest, like me even. At that thought, he winced and looked over his shoulder to make sure Sam was not looking, and came across Sam's questioning look. Well, what you got? Anything interesting? I wouldn't say. So far as clear, the version about his cell was not refuted by anything. I would also say that the girl he walked with also had the chance. That is, of course, if she has no alibi and a motive. Although there is one thing. Sam, who was looking around the sauna, gloomily raised an eyebrow. He looks like anyone. He was lying face down without having taken his robe off, right? Imagine his face turned to the wall. Body type, height, hairstyle. From the door he could pass for you, me, Yuma, anyone. The killer wouldn't have seen his face until he turned to face him. Sam frowned even more as he considered this new information. He might not have even been the target. The phone buzzed in the detective's pocket. He grabbed at it and glanced at the screen. It's Melody. Time's up. Let's go. With a last glance at the traces of blood on the floor, the men hurriedly left. That's all we managed to find out so far. Not much to go on. If there was, I'm afraid the police would have noticed it too. Makes sense. What's the next step? Oh, yeah, bun. Okay, I don't want to know where you got that word from. Here at the bridge of his nose, ignoring Alexander's choked laugh, we need to interview the witnesses. And we should find out which of the servants and guests were there this morning. I have to ask Yuma. I think that won't get us the whole picture, or we should relax. Relax. I'm trying to solve a murder here. Yay. The spire is easy to access from the forest side. The culprit may not have had anything to do with the Gusto staff. Okay, I guess I'm gonna split up. Wait, are we sure we're in a detective story and not a horror movie? Unclear, Rachel, unclear. If it's the latter, I refuse to split up, even from you. If we're in a horror movie, it'll end quickly. An hour and a half at the most, so get yourself together. Besides, I'm just going to ask you to stay in the room and surf the internet. Who knows, maybe some information about our guys will surface. Alexander will go to Ogawa's room and see if we can get in there. Melody, I'm going to ask you to carefully speak to Laya or Eve. About what? I spoke to this Musashi in the morning. You never know what they might have noticed. Besides, I will check their alibis just in case. Can you do it? You narrow your eyes slightly and smack your lips, casting your eyes to the ceiling. With the Laya, yes, of course. Sim immediately turned grim and abruptly changed his mind. Alexander, I'm gonna actually talk to Ivor. I was joking. It looked like you suddenly half jokingly, half seriously. It's like, never mind. Don't do it. I can handle it. Come on. Stop staring lightly most at me. Be careful, Femme Fatale. Let's see which one I can catch. Entirely rubbing your lower back, you got up and went to the bathroom to get changed. You didn't find Eve, but you found a liar right in the parking lot. Oh, really? He was standing still, looking towards one of the forest paths. Hey, big boy, what are you doing here all alone? What about you? I went to go out on a night hunt, drink some blood. Yeah. And you didn't answer my question. Then you missed your victim. Eva already sucked everything out of me today. Do you realize how ambiguous that sounded? This man laughed and put his hand to his heart. I was only joking, I swear. So you up for a walk? Yeah, I wanted to get some fresh air. Then come with me to the hill. To that hill. I think this path leads there. And I said that we should have turned right. If only we could see a damn thing. It's dark and something is rustling. That's snow falling from the trees. Vampires that have come for your soul. Have your comrades arrived? You playfully hit him in the shoulder and he, pretending to have a fatal wound, fell right into the snow. Before you had time to comment, his legs swept you off yours. The rest of the phrase drowned in the snow that clawed your nostrils and mouth. What was that for? Elia laughed, throwing handfuls of snow at you. What to do? Pout or throw snow back up? Sure. Take that and that. With each that, a fresh snowball flew into the man's face. His massive hands got a snowman's worth of snow at once and dropped it on your head. Not behind the collar. Why? He jumped up and started kicking on a soft layer of snow in an Elias jacket. I give up, white flag. Kicking him once more for good measure, you straightened up. You rubbed your nose with a mitten and shuddered all over. Oh, it's cold. You don't take cold too well? No, I definitely do not. Because you put half the snow this forest behind my collar. Huh, don't be systematic. You waved your hand at him and flopped right in the snow. The snow reflecting the moonlight made the landscape unrealistically contrasting. Black shadows, long strips of white. Elia also became quiet, then absentmindedly, as if to himself, quietly said, I've been wandering here since yesterday and thinking, damn it, I wish I could stay here. Tired? He shrugged. The things we do tend to be tiresome. A lot of money, a lot of responsibility. He stretched his arms out in front of him, examining them against the background of snow. I still want to be a part of it, and I'm glad I gave it up. I still don't know if I want to be with you guys. Who guys? The Mafia? No. I don't like them people. You decided not to work with the Mafia. So you can choose to work with the Mafia? Oh my god. Ryan smiled into the collar of his jacket, now looking up from the snow. And you're happy about that? But Czech was furious. He had hoped that everything would be the same. He's looking to set me up at the first opportunity, isn't he? Not if I can stop it. Generally, he's a peaceful man. He's unlikely to want to take revenge on you or something. It's dramatic and silly. You shrugged your shoulders, picking out the snow with the tip of your boot. How was the skiing? Elia resignedly accepted the change of topic. It was fun. Have you actually decided to take on this murder case? Yeah, most likely. But you weren't at the hotel at that moment, were you? Oh, click. He shook his head. Maybe you know something this morning? You spoke to that guy when we arrived. Oh, so he was killed? Well, can't say I noticed anything unusual. He was waiting for someone at the hotel. I didn't realize that it was a girl and that he did not like us. We asked what the best way was to get to the ski lift and received an answer through clenched teeth like, take a cab. But we wanted to take a walk and it seemed to be only a few kilometers, so I got mad and, well, immediately left. You continued talking to him by herself. although it's not clear how she didn't hit him right away. Surprisingly peaceful mood she had been at this morning. Brought a handful of snow to your lips. I see. But it's cold. Why did you bring it to your face? If you eat snow, of course you'll be cold. He rarely opened his arms to you. Looked at him with some doubt. In theory, I'm not doing anything reprehensible. I'm just warming up. I just hope he sees it the same way. This seems like not a good idea. Look. It's a hug though, right? I hug Rachel all the time. That led me to the problem. This isn't cheating, right? I don't think. Oh, let's try it out. Oh no. Lyle likes your clothes. The music hasn't changed yet. His bare paws close around you, wrapping around your ski jacket. It's so inconvenient, it doesn't heat up at all. Uh-oh. The music changed. Then take off your clothes. Yeah, like I'll be much warmer naked. Silly girl, just unbutton your jacket. Grinning, he set an example. As soon as you followed him, he pulled you to his chest. It was warmer under his jacket, twice as warm as under yours. You instantly warmed up and even felt yourself getting comfortably drowsy. Lyle pulled you even closer, and now you were on his lap, off of the snow. Oh god. That's a really pretty CG though. Yeah, we need to get out of here. Your most precious things will freeze right now. No, my brain is higher. It's safe. You exhale sharply through with your nose, showing your admiration for the response. After a lengthy pause, Elia inquired gently. Tell me, do you enjoy being here with me? Well, yeah, why are you asking? Oh, just wondering. You emerged from the warm den of his jacket and stared inquiringly into his eyes. It was a ridiculous move because of how close your faces were. He squinted his eyes, trying to catch your gaze. You raised your head too high, your nose snuffled loudly into his chin. Bending his neck so that even his voice was slightly distorted, Elia grumbled. I'm just curious. Honest. The steam from his breath left a barely noticeable condensation on the bridge of your nose. You puffed with displeasure and began to wipe yourself off on his beard. The man let a deep laugh, when you felt his Adam's apple move at the same time. You were so warm and his eyes slanted down, looked at you. No. Hide. Just warming myself, without any other thought, just warming myself. As if not paying attention to your maneuver, he pulled you even closer. It didn't work out very well. His knee rested against your thigh, forcing you to bend at an uncomfortable angle. You tried to remember the situation, but almost clapped into the snow. No, listen, this will definitely freeze us. Let's go back. With slight disappointment, at least that's what it seemed to you, the man nodded in agreement. Digging in his pocket, he fished out a crumpled hat. Here, put this on at least. You, of course, are a clever girl, going on without a hat. Look who's talking. I have it right here. In your pocket, yeah, it's very useful to you, I bet. Just thank the gods that I'm so well prepared. No more fuss, just take it. Yeah, sure, I'll take it. And you can stay cold. Oh, okay. I'm paying for a hat. Pulling it down the ears, you coquettishly fluffed your head and asked, does it suit me? Very much, you're beautiful. Disarmed by the seriousness of his tone, you stopped clowning around. Let's go before I turn into an icicle. Come on, creature of the cold. You hissed, trying to keep up with his bouncy step. Okay. It was not cheating. That got a little close though. That got a little out of hand. I'll be honest. The morning was not, we have to be careful. The morning was not convincing enough, and anyway, you didn't plan on getting up early. You slept until the hardworking maid started knocking on the door. But sending her out for another hour, you got up and looked at your watch. Wow, I envied myself. There was no one in the room except for you. You collapsed back on the bed, hugged the pillow, and felt a piece of paper under it. Oh, a note. You could have just sent me a text. Lazily unfolding the piece of paper, you froze, feeling like a rabbit halfway through a boa's throat. The note says, Uh-oh. None of you will leave this valley. It was an ominous cold for the corners of the room. Did I have fun? Yes. There were typos everywhere. But I did have fun. Sure. Okay. All right. Oh. We got another picture here. That's cool. Oh, we're gonna fill this out. Well, yeah, obviously. Yeah. Okay. Oh, we got nowhere near enough logic. Well, not nowhere near. We're kind of close. We do have enough authority, but we actually need 2 more pieces of logic. I don't think we're gonna get enough intuition. We can see how much we can get, but let's definitely focus on getting some more logic. See, as I told you, the screen on the front is easily misleading. It wasn't wrong about these 2, but it wasn't wrong about the logic. I'm pretty sure I had 41 on the screen before. But anyway. Oh, I might play another episode. Yeah, let's play another episode, but let me get these gems. Forget that stupid note. Don't you have anything else to think about? They said. Alright. And we're loading. Taking forever and loading. Chapter 4. Witnesses. I'm recording, right? I'm recording. Okay. Romans Club does not support self-harm in any form. Uh-oh. Doesn't sound good. The window was covered with frost, and from the outside it was impossible to tell whether the light was on in the room. But the light was not needed. Everything is known in advance, every movement scrutinized to the smallest detail. And everything necessary was stored in a metal box. Bandages, disinfectants, and, most importantly, blades. Uh-oh. Fingers were trembling so hard that the blade almost fell on the floor. It pressed against the skin of the forearm, and then it pressed harder. Blood came out. The blade was cutting deeper and deeper, and the blood had already started flowing down the fingers, trickling onto the floor. Facial muscles were contracting from euphoria, pain, disgust, shame, and guilt. In the dry silence of the half-abandoned room, those drops fell with a thick, wet sound. Are we gonna look into the eyes of the killer for a moment? Come on! Now this is what this whole story should have been like! Whoa! This should have been season 2. And then, you know, they could have done something else for season 3. Like, okay, you could have had season 1. Season 1 was pretty cool. Then they could have had this going on for season 2. And then season 3, we could have, like, finished off with the guy who got away, our uncle or whatever. Because that would be kind of cool, because sometimes we can get into the mindset of the killer. Like, during, like, when they're just doing stuff on the offset. Like, they don't really give us any details about, you know, who they are, but they might give us, like, small clues or something like that. That could have been cool. But I like the way they're going with this right now, at least. I learned a lot from season 2. It's just a stupid prank. He carefully put the note on the table in front of you and took hold of the chopsticks. Sam, what do you mean just a prank? Are you serious? Someone was murdered, remember? Yeah, and someone decided to take advantage of that. Turning his gaze to Alexander, who didn't react in any way. Deep shadows lay under Alex's eyes. Uh-oh. Did he stay awake all night? Alexander wouldn't do something like this. Of course. Why would he do it then? Just for the heck of it? Some people have a weird sense of humor. Alexander sluggishly picked at his omelet with a fork, now responding to the accusation. So what happened in the valley? What was that about, an avalanche? Sim gave you a what did I tell you look and took a sip of his coffee. I already told you everything I know. Last night there was an avalanche on the other side of the valley. They say the communications tower was taken out, locals switched to walkie-talkies. You took out your phone and looked at the reception. There was none. Oh, so that's why I can't connect to the internet. Yes, the hotel also lost connection. It must be a stationary radio, but we're out in the wilderness after all. I believe this is unacceptable negligence, a reason to break away from civilization. Negligence? It was an avalanche. Let's go with this one, even though I don't think so. That's what we wanted, right? Some peace and quiet? No business, just relaxation? Yeah, but it's scary anyway. Without communication, we can't call for help if something happens. Sam said they have walkie-talkies. Everything will be fine. You know what, let's change our hair. We haven't changed in a while. Okay, I think I want to wear this for a bit just because I want to show off the necklace. Because we haven't really gotten a good look at it for a while. Everything will be fine. Difficult to argue with that logic. Was especially good at timing for an avalanche. What do you mean? He shrugged and waved his hand vaguely in the air. Actually, an avalanche around these parts is not a surprise. We should ask Yuma about this. We still have to talk to him anyway. Are we not interrupting the investigation? Of course not. Moreover, discusses new opportunities. That's right. Hasal is probably still in the precinct, and now they won't be able to take him away. So that means we can interrogate him. Correct. By the way, Rachel, what were you able to find about those two? Well, not much. Hasal Ogawa is the owner of Cyberdeal, an IT company based in Tokyo. He has a daughter, and Musashi Yuko is her husband. A couple of months ago, a topic popped up on the forum. It was a girl who anonymously claimed that Musashi was sleeping with her. The thread was deleted, but I found a cache of the page, and I also found a list of the company employees. What's interesting is that the list was updated 3 weeks ago after the post was published. Their names are missing, all women. You mean it could be revenge? She was hiding here. Musashi is the right balance. It could be revenge. The thing about this, he isn't a very good person. This could be something, but bad temper is not a reason for murder. I think Hasal brought Musashi here to educate him, maybe? Like father and son, you know? Is that even okay? Let's just say that doesn't surprise me. If Musashi really had something with that girl that we saw yesterday, then Hasal had quite a motive. Killing a man just because he cheated on your daughter wouldn't be enough. If Hasal has a heightened sense of justice and duty, it would be more than enough. Yeah, so far everything indicates that my intuition indeed let me down. You can't say that until you checked everything. That's reasonable. When we talk to that girl, she probably knows something. Rachel, Melody, would you mind doing that? Why yes? Because a girl is likely to speak more openly to other girls, right? Yes. In the meantime, we'll talk with Yuma. Later we'll have to deal with that girl from the reception, and then with Hasal himself. So much to do. Everything for the good of the family business. Hey, it's your business, by the way. Hope that we'll eventually become a family, and where there's a family, there's family business. Okay. Legally, I'll have you know. He sighed, pulled you onto his lap, and kissed you briefly. Just now, I called you mine and said that I want to form a family with you. Let me savor this moment and object for at least 3 minutes, okay? You sighed, but you nodded diligently, hugging him by the neck. The detective placed his chopsticks neatly in front of the plate and stood up. It's time to get down to business. Let's get down to business. Okay. The pale Yuma was clicking his pen, lost in thought, staring in front of him, and almost jumped when he heard a voice. Good morning, Yuma. Can we talk to you? Good morning, Nielsen-san, Makoto-san. How can I help you? Good morning, Imai-san. We just want to ask you a couple of questions. We would like to know, did you kill that guy? No! Where were you? Sam leaned against the counter, idly looking around the lobby. I was here doing the paperwork. We have the cameras there and there. The police haven't checked the tapes yet, but I can show them to you if you want. That will be helpful. Really? That's not necessary yet? I will take a look. Necessary yet? God. Because I want to make sure like nothing's been tampered with. But I guess we don't know what to look for, and we don't know how long we should be watching or what portion we should be watching. Tell me, how many staff are currently at the hotel? Can I take a look at the guest list while you talk? Of course, Nielsen-san. I'll open it now. There are very few guests at staff right now. Because of quarantine, almost no one travels, especially here. But some of the servants live in the village, and all of them have access to the hotel. The staff uses some spa areas for free, but of course only when there are no guests there. Alexander absentmindedly grunted as he clicked on the name. Chase Silver. Have foreigners stayed here recently? Yuma glanced at the guest list at the line highlighted by Alexander. Yes, occasionally they wander in, even now, although there are still more Japanese visitors. But this guest left 6 days ago. Yuma, what about the radio tower and exit from the valley? Unfortunately, the exit is completely blocked. We do have avalanches, but to have one like this... The tower was located away from the usual avalanche path, so I don't even know how it could have fallen. Portable radios did not reach the city, but we have already contacted the rescue service from the stationary one. They promised to clear the blocks within a few days. In the meantime, unfortunately, you cannot leave the valley. What, you don't have mountain trails? Safe and simple ones to get out of quickly and easily? No. There's avalanche. Can it be unnatural? Logic. Nima thought, then shrugged uncertainly. I think you should ask about it at the ski lodge. Firstly, they are close to the avalanche. Secondly, they know more about avalanches there. The men looked at each other. We could also ask about even Eliza's alibis. Do you think that's necessary? No, I just want to check each and every one here, and I would check you if you weren't with me at that moment. Alexander chuckled, rubbed his eyes wearily, and nodded to Yuma. Thank you for the information. Now, can we have the key to Salah's room? With her head up, Rachel caught the falling snowflakes on her tongue. You were looking at the girl who flashed past the windows of the house. Maybe you were given this as a lesson? What kind of lesson? Rachel, we're not characters in some book where the author teaches kids how to behave. The girl shrugged. My mom always said that. Everything that happens is a lesson, and one must be able to understand and learn from it. And what I wonder is my lesson? That all redheads are evil witches, not everyone can be trusted, people are scum. Not everyone can be trusted? You view the world as a good place. That's interesting. That changed like her thought process, maybe. Even if a person seems kind, sweet, handsome, and charming. Or that your friends won't leave you in trouble. Yeah, even when you're facing involuntary manslaughter charges. You shrugged, brushing off unpleasant memories. Let's get down to business. Alright, how are we going to interrogate her? Path of logic. I think we need to act quickly and according to plan. We need to find out first what her relationship with Masashi is. Secondly, whether or not he fought with his father-in-law. And thirdly, find out her side of the story, as well as alibis and personal suspicions. Can you handle all that? And I'll be your backup if something comes to mind. You nodded, carefully constructing a plan for the conversation in your head. The girl straightened up, hearing the creak of the floorboards as she approached. Hello, Saito-san. Can we talk to you? Good morning, Harris-san, Lin-san, and Mai-san said that you would like to talk. Good morning, Komako. Good. Don't worry, we'll only ask a few questions. I'll try to help, but I'm afraid I don't know much. I have this ringing in my ears. Your attention was attracted by a crunch of footsteps, which suddenly stopped at the edge of the forest. You turned around abruptly, almost hitting your head against the doorway, but did not see who was there. Deeper along the path, you could only see the back of a man fleeing into the forest. What the hell? Why is he running away? That's suspicious. Do it. It's me! Rachel, I'll be right back. Wait, you fool. It could be dangerous out there. You fool. I don't have to catch up to him. It'll be enough to at least catch a glance at his face or something. And you rush into the forest, neither too quickly nor too slowly. Okay. But within a few minutes, you had to stop. Which path did he take? There were fresh tracks along both of them. Snow drowned out all sound as if sided with the fleeing man. Your breath wafted through the heavy branches and flew away into the sky. Carefully looking around, you half closed your eyes and listened. Maybe I can still hear him? Silence wrapped you in a cotton blanket and whispered in your ear. What the? Looked around, nobody was there, yet the sound did not subside. From behind there was a howl, something fell on your shoulder, making you jump to the side. What? It's just snow. Angrily shaking off the snow, and from your shoulder, you turn back to the hotel. And notice something in the snowdrift. What's this? Oh, see. Aqua buns. From the store yesterday? A couple of buns and water? The investigation is headed in the right direction. After meditating for a minute on it, you put the receipt in your pocket. I better get out of here. Rachel met you with a frown and folded arms. Don't you feel like this is the exact thing that makes you more vulnerable? I wasn't going to catch up with him. I just wanted to see him up close. Besides, it's kind of uncomfortable in that forest. There was a crying woman. Well, I mean, it was a wind, but it sounded eerily similar to a crying woman. That was Yuki Onna. Oh, look how cute she is. Who? 200 years ago in this village, an evil stepmother drove a little girl out of the house. The father did not interfere, and the girl went into the forest where she froze to death. Since then, Yuki Onna has been wandering around this forest and crying about her fate. And at night, she waits for lonely travelers and leads them into the snow where they freeze to death. From the side of the forest, you thought you heard crying. That's kind of superstitious. The kinds of superstitions that start in here. Yeah, a beautiful legend. Who was that man anyway? Did you recognize him, Komako? The girl shrugged. My jacket is familiar, but I can't say for certain that I know that man. Maybe someone from the village, from the ski lodge? The hotel has few guests nowadays. If he were from the village, he wouldn't run away like that. He's hiding something. For a while, you scanned the forest with your eyes and then dryly asked, Komako, can you tell us about Musashi Yuko and Hisao Ogawa? The girl immediately got a bored expression on her face and began to pick at the floor with a small broom. What do you want to know? What can you say about those two? How do they seem to you? Well, normal, ordinary people, nothing strange. Your relationship with Musashi, do I understand correctly that it has gone beyond guests and staff? The girl suddenly raised her eyes and angrily straightened her shoulders. Yes, and? And that is very bad, very good, or your business. Well, okay. Listen, I want to say that it's her business. However, we don't want to shut down the line of questioning. I want her to answer questions about it. So maybe we should just not judge. I definitely don't want to say very bad. So maybe we'll say very good. That means you may have the information we need. You're conducting the interrogation well. Okay, good. The girl relaxed slightly and stopped looking like a fierce fox. Fox in Japan. We had a relationship, but it was difficult and confusing. She drooped even more, mechanically stooping over a stone. Let me guess. He lied to you. More likely he lied to you. Logic. She shook her head uncertainly, then shrugged, then nodded. He promised to take me away from here. He said that he had not left his wife for a long time and wanted to be with me. But as the time for their departure approached, he still hasn't told me to pack my things. Yesterday I asked him what to take with me to Tokyo, and he got angry and yelled at me. He said he needed to think about my behavior and went to the sauna. And then he was found dead. Where were you that morning between 1 and 3 p.m.? It said 3 p.m. Oh, first in my room, I was upset, and then I helped with the plants in the lobby garden. There are cameras, you know. Who do you think could have done this? I don't know. Probably Ogawa-san. He was arrested, so it was him? Yeah, if only it were that simple. Musashi had a bad temper as far as I can tell. Well, none of the staff really complained. There was no one else here. Someone from the village, maybe? I do not know. Do you talk about any suspicious people or events? No, nothing like that. He talked about himself, about Tokyo, and there are no strangers here. It's hard to come here. There are a few who are coming here now. The girl perked up and you, following her gaze, saw Alexander and Sam. If you have no more questions, can I go? Yes, thank you. If we need anything else, we'll get back to you. The girl bowed briefly and grabbed the broom and ran away. You two went down the slippery stairs towards the guys. Oh, koi-fish. Hi. Well, any news? This is so pretty. This is just so pretty. I'm just going to take a picture. Don't mind me. Something like that. The girl really doesn't know anything. You summarized your conversation. You think she has a motive? Well, she's mad at him, and she has a weak alibi. So she could have done it? I think so, or I don't think so. I don't want to be suspicious of nobody. But I mean, does she have a weak alibi? Guess if there was cameras where she was. So we could check to see at the time of the murder where she was supposed to be. But being a jilted lover does point to being a little suspicious. And she could know the person who just ran off. Could be someone that she's working with. Maybe I think so. Oh no. Subpoena influence investigation. Oh no. There's somewhat of a motive and almost no alibi. Sam shook his head with some doubt but did not object aloud. What did you learn? Your attention was distracted by a flock of birds emerging from behind the fluffy tops of the fir trees. First, exit from the valley is really blocked and the tower is in pieces. Maybe we should go back and say, I don't think so. I'm curious about the having doubt thing. I don't like that it says it influenced it. What's the name? Looks like we should go back. I don't want to be over suspicious of the wrong person. And we're back. Okay, let's try. I don't think so. The motive is weak. We should kill him because he didn't want to take her anywhere? Pointless. What if he changed his mind at the very end? Besides, she didn't seem angry to me. Upset, yes, but not furious. Sham shrugged his shoulders, digesting this information. Okay, no doubt there. Okay, gotta listen to the characters. I think they have this. Okay, what did you learn? Attention was distracted by a flock of birds emerging from behind the fluffy tops of the fir trees. First, exit from the valley is really blocked and the tower is in pieces. Listening to the conversation, you stepped back a couple of steps and raised your head. You also looked into Sal's room. Snow fell in your face, forcing you to squint and wrinkle your nose. The birds flew majestically as if they were in no hurry. What are you doing? Your head's a little dizzy, the sky tilted, covering you. Click. You emerged from your stupor and turned in surprise to Alexander. He was looking at the screen of his smartphone. Huh? Beautiful. Let me see. Nope, I'll remove it before your Sammy unscrews my head from my love of art. Art is it? Give it here. Send it to me and delete it off your phone. Hey, come on. Give it to me. Resolute stretched out your hand and Alexander obediently handed you the phone. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah. Save it. I tell you, this whole aesthetic over here is really pretty. Look at the photo. You felt sadness rising to your throat and a strange dragging longing. This photo will appear on the final screen of the chapter. Hey! From the outside, I look so lost. Small. Sam's cool cheek pressed against yours as he went to look at the photo. Still, photography is too modern for me. I would rather have a painting like this. He turned his head slightly, looking into your face at an uncomfortable angle. You know, I will. I'll order a painting made from this photo. You shook your head, embarrassed and slightly judgmental. You handed the phone back to Alexander and shook your head. So, what's with the Sal's room? Oh, we found something there. Oh, okay, flashback. Diving into the police tape, the man stood side by side at the door. I understand that Yuma only told us what he knows, but this is nonsense. I don't understand how you can fall asleep after a scandal like that. Do you remember how he yelled at Yuma when we entered the hotel? I don't know. Telling the police I slept in my room couldn't be worse. A normal killer would have gotten a better alibi. That is, if it wasn't emotional when he did it. Regardless, if I were one, I would have thought hard about what could give me away later. Ha, same baby. If you could, you'd teach me all criminals how to cover their tracks. The detective glared at his friend and put his hands on his hips. Let's talk more action. I hear and obey, oh brilliant Nancy Drew. Heaven, I'm not asking you for strength, just humility, or otherwise I'll kill this jerk. Okay, where do we want to start? We should look at, oh, we're investigating. Okay. Personal belongings, the phone, the laptop, the beds. I'm in between personal belongings and Maybe the laptop. So we choose blindly. Okay. Okay. I'm nowhere. Okay. But laptop. The flip lid immediately flashed a welcome screen. Wow, no password? What's with this carelessness? You must have never heard of cybersecurity, which thankfully makes our job much easier. Okay, let's check. Oh no. Photo folders, search history, hidden folders. Let's search for hidden photos first. Procrastinating has moved one step further. Hey! It's in the settings, right? Yeah, the control panel. Choose personalization, now view the folders, check that box there. Oh, look, right on the desktop. Damn, he doesn't have a password, but he hid the folders? What a man. What's in the folder? Wow, is this Musashi with his wife? I would say with a lover. Why would someone film him and his wife on a security camera? Oh, look, this is a different girl altogether. A third girl? Don't start. Open this. What's written there? These things keep getting weirder and weirder. This is the power of returning to signed business documents from Cyberdill. It's marked December 15th here. What's wrong with Hasao? I mean, this Musashi is cheating on his daughter, and yet he entrusts his business to him? So it's not as simple as we think. Let's take a look at the other folders. Okay, let's check. Take a look at photos, but they have video evidence of something. I think search history gives people away much better. I'm gonna go for search history. Ah! He was looking for Ryokon's stocks. A new phone? Oh. Oh? Look, this is his photo board. Ah! See, we get the photos without even having it. There's no password on the laptop, but there is a photo board. Incredible. The aesthetics of death, gothic aesthetics, and artificial skulls. Oh, he probably bought some. Here's a link to the store. Not a person who's afraid of death, huh? Yeah, neither his own nor someone else's. Okay, we can't afford to spend all day on the laptop. Let's move on. There's a skull over there on the floor. Oh, okay, we look at more places. Okay. Well, I also wanted to look across the wall. I was like not in agreement and reaching to the nearby bag. Digging through someone else's underwear? Don't worry, it was enough for you too. They exchanged glances, which threatened to start a Japanese-Swedish war. Don't worry, you also learn a joke like that one day. Oh, I found something. I was going to pull out of the bag a sock. Why would you pull a sock out? Let's talk about the skulls, since we talked about it before. Learn a little more about the suspect. The man turned his skull over in his hand, showing no sign of surprise. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. Stop! Apparently that was a cat, judging by the shape. Some friends you have. I wonder why he needed a cat skull with him. I don't judge anyone's hobbies, if that's what you mean. I'm talking about the psychological portrait of a criminal. Sam thoughtfully shrugged, putting this information into memory. Let's see what else is here. Okay, we'll go for the pills. Yeah, sleeping pills, strong ones. You think this might be the reason he slept? And he, what, took a sleeping pill right in the middle of the day? We don't know anything about his habits. It's illogical, but anything is possible. Alexander shook the bottle and carefully put it back. Okay, let's get it over with. Let's move on. Oh, okay, we'll continue. Okay, well then, the phone. Sam broke the screen and stared at the lock for a while. Is there any way we can get around it? There are many ways, but for starters, it's just using the simplest method. Most people use very simple graphic codes, their own name, for example. Let's try... So their own name, for example? What name? Isn't it Ogawa? Right? Isn't that the one we're looking for? So maybe the O? Hisao Ogawa is logical. Let's see, you're a genius then, baby. A real hardcore detective. Well, it was your idea. Give it here. Are you thinking of taking me off the case just because I can't read Japanese? Well, never mind. I'll be breathing ominously down your back. With the wave of his hand of driving away an annoying mosquito, Sam quickly flipped through the gallery. Pictures of a dog, pictures of a park, a selfie from a man in his 40s. Oh, look. Screenshots of correspondence. What's it about? Looks like the daughter was forwarding this to her dad. She's arguing with Musashi, says that he's a scoundrel. And here's a photo of a lawyer's business card, thinking about divorce, probably? Look at the correspondence. Where are the screenshots from? Telegram? Go there. Now, yeah, that's right. She's cursing him, but look, she also has to teach him a lesson. Just to talk to him so he doesn't cheat anymore. Frankly, that wasn't the best way he could have done it. Could he have tried to reason with him with the blade to the throat? Good question. His daughter would be upset. Do you think she would have been more upset by his death or by the fact that he was fooling around here with the staff? Sam thought deeply, shaking the phone in his hand. Okay, let's see what else is here. Okay, that's all we get from the phone. Alright, let's get the message. Alright, and what will that do? Well, if we believe him for a second, he was sleeping here, time of the murder. Maybe we'll find something? I was in doubtful looking at the bed. Kneeling in front of the bed, the man pulled out a plate. What does a plate have to do with anything? Let's go with the notebook. What's written here? For a while, Sam leafed through the notes made in small handwriting. Mostly work notes, although there are drawings here. Look. Dead birds, skulls. Doesn't all this seem surprisingly suspicious to you? I don't know. In Japan, death is treated differently. Have you heard of Mujo-kan? Alexander shook his head. The frailty of existence, embodied in rebirth, and the loneliness of the individual in general, his attitude. Although, of course, his hobby is strange, but not completely out of bounds. He put the notebook down, trying to put it back as it was before. Anything else there? Kneeling in front of the bed, the man pulled out I still don't know what the plate would have to do with anything. He could have just been eating a slipper. Maybe it's like a female slipper. You're in a great detective team. Hey! Carefully weighed the slipper in front of Sam's nose and turning the sole upwards, carefully examined it. Clean? Pristine. And the second one? Yeah, it is too. That means he didn't step in blood. Or he destroyed the evidence and took new slippers, but he could have done that only with the maid or the receptionist. And Yuma said he hadn't been in contact with anyone since he left the restaurant. Sam rubbed his forehead, puzzled, not taking his eyes off the slipper. I think we're done here. What else do we need to look at? He was in the middle of the room, looked around, and absentmindedly said, Actually, there's nothing else to look at. Let's go and see how the girls are doing, and we still need to catch this Manaka. You collected a complete picture of the evidence from Sal's room. Yay! A very strange picture is emerging. There is confirmation of his alibi, but there is also confirmation for a motive. He was clearly offended for his daughter, but at the same time gave Musashi the power to manage the business. Maybe he was being blackmailed? We didn't find blood on his slippers, but we found sleeping pills, and he told the police that he was sleeping. And judging by the correspondence with his daughter, he was ready to kill Musashi with his own hands. That is, he seemed to want to kill him, but it seems like his alibi holds up. Alibi is shaky, but I don't know. Something's wrong here. Everyone has motives, but not strong enough. Everyone has an alibi, but not strong enough. I don't like this. It's like we're missing something important, something huge. For example, as Musashi looks like me, Sam, or Yumi. Aw, your favorite imagination wants to be the main participant again? Right now, my imagination is thinking about food. Are you hungry already? Not yet, but I'll definitely want to eat soon. Let's go get changed and get something to eat. Even Sam nodded with interest. You tried to the hotel anticipating hot food and tea. But you discovered instead... koi fish. An attentive gaze from the second floor of the ryokan stay on you until you turn the corner. That'd be weird. But I love the investigation. Okay. Go ahead and this part right here. We're getting a picture. Haha. We're filling this out. We have 5 pictures left. We got 5 pictures down, so we're at the halfway point of this, I think. Well, getting our pictures anyway. Okay, so we have 42 logic, 22 intuition, and 50 authority. Okay. There's no way we're gonna get 20 more intuition by episode 7. This is what, episode 4? And 3 more episodes? Yeah. That's not gonna happen. I mean, we can get a little bit more intuition and see when we get closer. But, you know. I end up normally choosing logic choices just on principle, so it probably not a big of a deal. As long as we have at least one of them. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and this part right here. This is exciting. I like the way that this detective work is going. I feel like they should have gotten to this sooner. Once again, I feel like the whole season 2 just should have been scrapped. Well, at least the back half of it especially. Yikes. I definitely liked spending the time with Alexander's family, stuff like that. That was still fun, but like after that, the whole thing with the twins was just nonsense. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end this part right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and show a like button, some love, subscribe to see more content like this, and I will see you next time. Bye.
2 dark days, do you have a tear to spare? Make a promise, the world awaits. It's heavy, just breathe.